How do you become the go-to real estate agent in your market? I mean, honestly, you could take all the classes you want. You can become an expert on the forms, the offer to purchase. You can know the legal side in and out. And that's never going to make you the go-to in your market. What's going to make you the go-to in your market has a lot to do with how much in love you are with the market you serve. Now, what does it mean to fall in love with your market? I want to tell you, go back and turn off your real estate hat for a minute. Just be a normal human being. I know that's hard because real estate gets in your blood and it's all y'all can talk about. I get you. But I want you to pretend you were coming to your town or to your county for the very first time. What would you ask questions about? Would you ask about the historical marker that you saw on the side of the road? Would you ask how in the world Charlotte came to have the intersection of Queens, Providence, and no, it's not Queens, it's Queens, Providence. Maybe you would ask that question. Maybe you would say, tell me the story of the Hezekiah Alexander. Maybe in Cabarrus County, you would say, what are these monuments that are over here? How did this building that looks like a textile mill turn into offices and apartments? You would ask a lot of questions if you were brand new to your area. And you wouldn't ask it with a sense of judgment or ugliness. You would be asking it with a sense of bright-eyed curiosity about, well, how about that? And I want you to go into your community and put that attitude back on. If somebody were to ask me why people call me in Cabarrus County, they're going to say it's because we know you love this place. We see it in your actions. And you know what? It's not just the way that I behave when I stick a sign in a yard. It's the way that I behave when I stay engaged with the school board, when I pay attention to the county commission, when I have honest conversations with the mayor, when I am out there visiting local businesses. And it's not because it benefits my real estate business, although it does. It's because I live here. This is my town. This is my county. This is where I grew up. It's where I can see my granddaddy's name on all the old maps, and I can see what happened to our family farm. It became a neighborhood, and then I can tell the story. So I can be the one that takes that new person and brings them along and says, did you know this is what used to be here? This is what's coming over here. As a real estate pro, you have this really unique opportunity when you're in love with your market. You get to bridge the past with the future. How cool is that? So you think about it. I'm a parent now with 2 teenagers. And so, of course, the dating world is in our lives now. And I see myself as that bridge because I have my parents who are my bridge to the past. And I make sure that my kids interact with them so that they have that bridge too. And now, as a parent, I get to see the possibilities of the future. Probably not these possibilities, but you never know. And so I'm going to be in that bridging as well. And the same thing happens in real estate. As somebody who's done this for decades, and I hate saying that, but I'll keep saying it. I can drive into a neighborhood and say, gosh, I sold this thing when it was new construction 20 years ago, and now we're 5 neighbors later in its life cycle, and somebody else is now going to get to come in and make it theirs. And so the past is the people who used to live there and the builder who built it and all the things from the past. And the future is this new neighbor in the house. And my job as a real estate pro is to make sure that that neighbor gets great information about the property in the area, but also that they see themselves as a tie to the future. Because when you're in love with your market, you should be able to transfer that love to somebody else. Just like I transfer my love from my parents to my kids, they should be able to transfer that to their future families as well. And that's what all of this has to mean. What you have to do to be that go-to pro in the market is elevate yourself a little bit. Get up and out of the MLS for a minute. Get up and out and away from the yard signs and get out into your community and go meeting people. And no, you don't have to look good all the time, although you do want to have a professional appearance. You just have to be really visible. And you should be visible in a way that it's not icky and gross. You don't have to be wearing a giant name tag all the time that says, hey, who do you know that needs to buy or sell? What you have to do in these neighborhoods is be helpful and thoughtful and curious. Maybe sometimes you're listening and sometimes you're asking questions and sometimes you're the one who's answering the questions. But you shouldn't be the one that's doing all the talking. Maybe you're the one that's out there gathering. And so if you look at your market and you think, well, I'd like to be that person, I want to get there, here are some action items for you. All right? I want you to go to your city hall, town hall, wherever you live, and meet the person at the desk. Go say hello to her. Ask her how she enjoys her job. Be, A human for once. And she's going to say, well, did you need something? You say, no, I'm a local real estate pro and really just wanted to meet the person manning the desk down here at town hall. And then I want you to reach out to some elected officials. Extra points if they are not of your political persuasion, so that y'all can figure out what you have in common, which should be the love of the community. And the third thing I want you to do is go investigate your parks and rec. Now, I know it's hot. We know that summer is hot. This is not a new phenomenon. What I want you to do is go find your parks and rec system and go for a walk without your device. And I want you to look around yourself and say, I really like where I live. And then I want you to go investigate what's happening with the high schools. I can tell you that right now we're fixing to start school again. And my son is doing the marching band practice. And I love not even seeing the practice, but being one neighborhood away and I can hear the brass. Maybe you could go hear the brass at your local high school's marching band practice and remember how exciting it is that the next generation is taking action and moving things forward while also recognizing the past. And then I want you to call somebody down at your water and sewer authority. Yes, I know that sounds dreadful, but you got to do it. I want you to ask questions about the infrastructure in your neighborhood and what is needed and what is coming. I want you to reach out to the Department of Transportation and figure out what's coming. Look at the proposed projects, look at the funded projects, and then look where there's a place for public input. Maybe you know where there are some potholes, because as a practicing real estate pro, guarantee you know where there's some nasty potholes. Maybe you could be the one that turns it into the DOT and says, hey, please come help these neighbors by fixing their road. Even though it has zero impact on your life, it could have great impact on someone else's. And when you start doing those things, y'all, you're going to start to figure out that when you are the most knowledgeable about an area, you're going to be in love with it again because you're vested in it. Let's just acknowledge that too. All relationships, whether parenting or your spousal relationship or your best friends, require an investment. And the investment is not always what you take out. It's not those dividends. It is what you are starting off with, your capital. So go put some more capital into your community as a real estate pro. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're not in real estate, I should probably let you know this applies to all business owners. Go out and invest some capital without any desire for return, without any need for a return. And you know what happens next? The returns will be great. For more motivation or information, check out some of my other videos. And if you need me to answer something for you, you've got a question, drop it in the comments, send me a message. I'll see you around.